Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Press Pause with Jouhayna. When I decided to start this podcast, I asked myself, how can I ask people to share their story if I haven't shared mine? Welcome to my microbiography. My name is Jouhayna, and the meaning of Jouhayna is the beginning of new things. I'm going to embark on my journey and tell you about what life is like in the present day. If I were to quite literally press pause on my life right now, I am currently working as a senior air traffic control officer and on-the-job training instructor at an area control center. And if you don't know what that is, basically any aircraft that flies in and out of the United Arab Emirates airspace has to go through me and all my colleagues first. Any aircraft that lands, departs, or overflies. I'm also an instructor, and I absolutely love training the next generation of air traffic controllers to protect the skies of my country. Another milestone that I've hit recently is that I'm a homeowner, and I'm recording this podcast out of my house with my favorite dog, and I wanted to just welcome you into it as well. I also married the love of my life recently. We've been together for approximately 4 years now, and I decided to, of course, start this podcast, Press Pause with Jouhayna. Now, why did I choose to call it Press Pause with Jouhayna? I'm the kind of person who never pressed pause. It was constantly all about the hustle culture, going for the next thing. And the pandemic forced myself and most of the world to quite literally press pause. Now the world has picked up again, and we are all getting back into that hustle culture. And I feel like it's important to learn a lesson from the pandemic, to quite literally press the metaphorical pause button and take a moment to reflect on everything that we've achieved and everything that we have accomplished for the time being, and to reflect on what to do in order to move forward in your future. So now let's press the metaphorical rewind button. How did I end up doing everything that I'm doing to be in the present moment as I am? Well, I'm going to start from the very beginning. I am mixed race. I am half Emirati and half Tanzanian. My father is Emirati from Ras Al Khaimah, and my mother is Tanzanian from Dar es Salaam. They ended up meeting in Ras Al Khaimah because my mother has very curly hair. She ended up going to a barber shop to get her trims, and that's where she met my father. And the rest was history. I came along, and so did my other two little sisters. Something else about me that most people don't know and are usually shocked by is that I only speak English. I struggle to speak Arabic because a lot of mixed kids, the mutual language spoken between the parents is what they speak. So I'm only fluent in English, but I am taking classes to work on learning Emirati Arabic now. The person who raised me and is an integral part of my childhood is my grandmother, and I call her my nanima. She ended up being an orphan in Africa, and if she didn't succeed in the way that she succeeded, I wouldn't be here today. Everything is thanks to her. She was orphaned at a very young age, ended up getting educated, went to medical school, married the love of her life, and ended up having my mother and her sister, who are also two women in my life that played an integral role in raising me. All three of them, I like to say, have pioneering spirits. I went to school, and being mixed race and a child of color, it was very difficult. I ended up getting bullied simply for being myself. And the only sanctuary that I had was doing ballet. I did ballet for 14 years, and it was the best. My teacher, Miss Cheryl, was everything to me. She was a friend, a mentor, a teacher, and somebody that's very close to my heart. So in high school, I felt like everybody around me knew exactly what their next step was. And I had absolutely no idea. And I owned it as well. Everybody was applying to university and the next thing that they were going to do. 1 minute, you are requesting permission from your teacher to go to the restroom, and the next you need to know exactly what you're doing for the rest of your life. It is such a big decision to make, and you haven't even entered adulthood yet. The one thing that I did realize is that as the eldest child, I felt the pressure to become the breadwinner of the family. A lot of turbulent events happened in the household, and I made the decision that I have to act to take care of my mother and my younger sisters. So I applied to as many scholarship programs as I could find because I wanted to be self-sufficient and self-reliant in order for me to succeed and take care of the people that I love. I applied to any and every scholarship program that I could find, and I eventually ended up getting into an air traffic control program, which is how I ended up being an air traffic control officer. At the time, when I went through the program, I was 19 years old when I got recruited, and now it's been around 10 years since I started that job. But 10 years ago, when I completed the program, I ended up being the youngest female and the second Emirati female to successfully complete the training in the first place, which is a blessing. And I'm so happy that now, 10 years later, we have more women in the industry, and I get to be a part of their journey to teach them because I'm also an instructor. What I have realized in the last year, because I'm all about that self-reflection, is that this is the last year I have in my 20s. And what am I going to do to make it count? Thankfully, I'm very grateful for the job that I have, and I'm thriving there, and I enjoy it. And I'm quite good at what I do, otherwise I wouldn't have lasted as long as I have. But what else can I do to feed my soul? What else can I do to leave my mark on this world? And that is why Press Pause with Jouhayna was born. So now that you know about my past and my present day and how I ended up here, let's take a moment to look into the future, to press the metaphorical fast forward button. I do plan on working in aviation for as long as I possibly can. So I'm going to do that. And also my dogs, I have 2 more outside, they're all accustomed to a very certain lifestyle. So I have to maintain that for them. And I am hoping that Press Pause with Jouhayna is a success beyond my wildest dreams. I have a vision board for it, but we'll see where it goes. And of course, I'm going to get more dogs. That is what I hope for in my future. And whatever else comes my way, I'm just going to make sure that as it occurs in the future, I'm present in that moment to appreciate every step along the way. Thank you. And thank you for watching and tuning into Press Pause with Jouhayna and Peanut.